Frandson with Dr. Howard Cohn, Cohn Health Institute, Costa Mesa, California. We are back with our Go Beyond Summit, and today we're going to talk to the doc, and we're going to find out what's really going on with these EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, electricity, dirty electricity, radio frequencies from Wi-Fi. They are all around us. I mean, there's pie graphs from when electricity entered our home that cardiovascular, diabetes, dementia, Alzheimer's, everything has gone skyrocketing up since electricity entered our life. So there's something going on with it. Dr. Martin Paul figured out that the voltage-gated calcium channels open and allow positive calcium into the cell and cause free radical damage, which in turn cause DNA cell damage, and your body breaks in an array of different ways. So we know that scientifically there's something going on there. We've seen the pie graphs. I want to talk to the doc. So doc, can you dive into electricity and EMS for us and what you see?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that affect people's health. At the end of the day, it's always going to come down to strengthening your internal terrain. However, we still need to control all the different things that affect us. You know, there's the things that are toxic air, our water, our food. We all kind of know that there's issues there because we could, have more of a experience of it. We read more about it. It's been a problem for so long, and it's only getting worse. But what is also is EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, in many different forms, just like you were talking about, whether it's dirty electricity in a home, smart meters coming from your house or even your neighbor's house, people sleeping with their head right next to the plugs in their bedroom, going to sleep when having Wi-Fi going through you all the time, people walking around with these little, with their Bluetooth thing in their ear all day long, turning themselves into a human battery. First you had 3G, now you had 4G, now you have 5G coming, so we're really becoming a lab rat. You have your tablets, your cell phones, which you've been holding up to your head forever, the data out there on tumor formation, other types of things directly linked to having these things in proximity of your head, especially with your children who are actually growing up with this as part of their communication. And the main part of the communication, we as a species in our age bracket did not grow up with these devices, they came later, but the precious child brains, you see what's happening, it's frightening. So you can't run from it, you can't hide from it. I mean, you're going to be exposed to it wherever. You also have schools. The majority of schools that are built on cheap and cost-effective land. The majority of schools, public schools that you'll see, even private schools, you'll see them right next door to a cell tower right here in Orange County, very popular. Private schools where, I was looking at one for my child, and I'm like, it's like you're standing outside on the playground, it's just tremendous, and,
Not going there.
Yeah, not going there, although, we see plenty of kids in this clinic that go to that school. In any event, this is not new. I remember, I think Time Magazine did an article, I think it was in the 70s or 80s, and they had this most freakishly, this is before, it's a cell phone picture. You had a guy, I'll have to figure out what year it is and look it up. We used to have a picture on our wall. The guy standing under not a cell tower, but a power line, and right in some community just like yours and mine, and he's holding two fluorescent bulbs in his hand, like long fluorescent bulbs, and he's standing just under it, not even next to it, but under it, but still maybe 50 feet away, so you can see it in the background, and they're fully lit in his hand. So the electricity is going through the ground, through his feet, up through his body, and he's the conductor. So that's just the simplest form. But when you see all these different things, I can't tell you how many health crises people have that have been linked to, I was fine, and then they put the smart meter in. And a lot of times it's not your smart meter, it's your neighbor's, because your neighbor's is facing your home, and you have to talk to them about something you have no awareness about. They just came through the McDonald's drive-thru, and you're going to talk to them about dirty electricity and what it's doing for them and how it's affecting their home or their kids, and seeing all these different things all around. I mean, you have your computers, you have your cell phones, you have your iPads, your tablets, you have all of it, and it just adds up to what's called a toxic electric soup. So, obviously there are things that we can do to avoid it. First, we kind of show people, and like anything else, everybody's different. No two human beings are alike. Some people are more sensitive to others. It's like you can have someone eat a sandwich, they're fine. The other one smells gluten and they're already, having asthma. So there's different sensitivity levels. You have some people that are exposed to it. It doesn't overtly look like it's affecting them. We know traditionally it's affecting them on a cellular level, but not everyone's growing a tumor outside of their head just because they have an iPhone or a phone up to their head. So, what is it? So there's ways that we use applied kinesiology, other types of testing to see if people are sensitive. There are different devices where we want to show people in their home or office. Like I know Stetzer Electric, they make a great meter that I know that you've used in your work, and we recommend as a way to measure dirty electricity. Stetzer they do a great job, and it's a reliable device, so we highly recommend that. And then there's solutions that you can get, like once you do identify it, we send everybody to the emfrocks.com site so they can check out, like EMF Solutions does a lot of stuff. I know there are a bunch of other things that you may have seen me advertise in the past about different solutions that people have. We recommend different wire tube, earphones, things that make sure that your body is less exposed. So it's a really, really big deal. It's a different for everybody. But again, if you know what's out there, you want to do the minimum things that you can do to protect yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And what are you seeing as far as the percentage of electricity being involved in people's stressor?
Well, again, it's different for everybody. I think 100% of the people are affected by it. Wow. And I'd say 90+% you can demonstrate it, like it'll weaken like a strong indicator muscle when you test them when they're exposed to a cell phone right up against their head, or they're sitting in front of a computer and their hands are on the keyboard, or they're, you can test them while they're sitting in their bed, but you have them lie down and have their head within 3 feet of an outlet, and you see a lot of times they're sensitive and that'll weaken their system from that. You see it with, different places people go, travel to. Another thing we haven't talked about is electric cars. Nobody's protecting themselves from those things. Plus, you have Bluetooth running through. You have the car. You have Bluetooth.
Well, they have
GPS.
Routers in them now.
Yeah, I know. It's
40 million of them. We'll have routers in the next 2 years.
It's pretty crazy. I don't, we're not going to beat it up too much. I don't want a lot of calls or death threats or from people that own companies that have billions invested in this technology. But I do have a hybrid electric car. I have a Karma, a Fisker, and but I have 21 EMF protectors up and down it. There's, I had the thing lifted up, specially put in there. As far as I know, no one in the planet has had that done to their own car. I've seen people with the most popular electric car company in the world right now, which is a different company where you can, that has like a family wagon with the gull-wing doors. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, and you sit in that thing and you just I felt like I sat myself inside a microwave. And people put their children in this, and guys, it's not like you get exposed to something and your liver falls out and you go, oh wow, that's a problem. No, these things are slow. The analogy is if you take a frog and put it in a pot of boiling water, it'll sense that it's hot to jump out to save its little frog legs. Take the same frog and put it in a pot of cool water, slowly turn up the heat. It's going to boil to death over time because it won't notice the change over time. That's what we're all doing with this EMF thing. So, guys, I don't know how to impress it upon you enough. You got to do the things to protect it. Now, I know you're a family man and you have a young daughter and you started to see some of these effects in your own life and now became a student, now became really now an expert in this area, starting in, as everyone knows you from the fitness and the athleticism world. But again, when you get paid the big bucks like you do to make sure people perform better and people are doing stuff all day long when they're sitting with phones in their pockets. And I remember we saw Dave Asprey speak, the bulletproof master himself and Mr. Yak Butter himself. And I remember he was saying that he did something where because everyone wears their phone in their pocket, and he did a bone density test on his both thighs, and I think it was like, don't quote me, but in and around 17% bone loss over the very spot where his phone was compared to the other leg where he didn't carry his phone. So when you see these kinds of stuff, you're like, wow, if osteoporosis, osteopenia is such an epidemic, I wonder how much it's doing. You know, I mean, your ovaries, your testes are right there. There's a lot of different reasons why people are less and less fertile. I mean, the average man today has half the sperm that their grandfather had. I mean, these are big deals, and then they're not only the count, but they're dysmorphic, and they're mutants. So you just, you know, some of it's like, you know, thank you Monsanto and pesticides, something, you know, and Roundup and all these glyphosates, and some of it is the EMFs, and you know, it all adds up. So again, you know, when we do these health summits, it's all about each thing's a piece of the pie. Just like, you know, if you're trying to train, each type of training adds a different skill set. You know, flexibility is one thing, but agility is another thing, and balance is another thing, and stamina is another thing. And these are all things that need to be separately trained for, like and ambidexterity is another thing. It's endless, the amount of things you can do. Now, just because it's endless and it seems overwhelming at times, there are simple types of solutions that we do. I mean, we recommend the things that are in your world all the time is your phone. You gotta have some kind of protection on your phone, okay? Yeah, I know that you guys got stuff at EMF Rocks. The next thing is your bed, your room, your bed when you're sleeping at least hopefully 8 hours a day. It's 1/3 your life. You gotta make sure your room's protected and you're not agitated. You know, the simple things to do. I know it's a pain in the ass, but turning off your Wi-Fi at night. I know I'm bad about it myself, but it's really a good thing. You can set timers on Wi-Fi's now. There's a lot of things you can do. If your house has a smart meter, that's not very smart. You can opt out of these things, or you can protect them. I know you guys at EMF Solutions at EMF Rocks, you guys have stuff for that. That's good. The routers on the computers are tremendous. If you're in a place where Bluetooth is running, turn it off if you're not using it, or don't even use it. And then there's, you know, GPS. I mean, shoot. I mean, when's the last time you asked for directions? Everyone's got GPS. You got it on your pocket the whole time. I mean, so you mush it all together. And then 5G, I got nothing for you there. I got nothing yet. I mean, it's frightening as all can be. You know, so, and then you're staring at these screens all the time. So there's some special glasses you could wear to help you with blue light. I mean, there's all that's to make sure you can make melatonin so you can sleep. These are all real things that everyone could and should be looking into. But I know that you're embarking on making sure people understand and make it simple. So, good job.
Yeah, no, guys, Dr. Cohn has just wisdom non-stop on this topic, and he's cleared his office, his router underneath his desk with the appliance harmonizer from EMFrocks.com. There's a beautiful salt lamp that clears it. You can get shungite pyramids and put them on a metal platform and harmonize stuff. There's organites. There's all these different crystals. Crystals are the key. They're more the God's gift of clearing this stuff. Yeah, all the amethyst crystals as well, citrine. There's some great ones that are known to help balance a lot of this stuff. So just flood your home with this protectors, and then, you know, go to solutions like EMF Rocks has for specific devices, and you're going to see a huge shift. And then when you follow what Dr. Cohn says about unplugging, turning stuff off at night, having timers on routers, and or even electrical panels for that matter. Dr. Mercola suggested that in a summit that I went to, which was awesome. Probably one of the coolest intros he ever did was to have everyone put their phones on airplane mode before the start of the talk, and you felt the entire vibration just go down like you do in at the Cohn Health Institute here in your office. So lots of solutions. So anything else you want to add on this EMF topic?
Sure. You know, since you brought that up, it reminded me of going to see Chris Rock, the comedian, in concert. When you actually went in, they actually had a pouch. You had to turn your phone off and you had to put it in the pouch, and it was locked. You still held on to it, but it was locked, and it was interesting and fascinating. I haven't seen it in at least 10 years. See 2,000 people in a room having to sit and talk to each other and look at each other because they could not use their device. People freaking out, like, oh, I gotta, you know, because we can't. look another human in the eye without having to pull that thing up. But the other thing you brought up, Mercola too, and one of the biggest things that are used for all kinds of radiation, not just EMF radiation, but your Fukushima coming over and radiation from being radiated from, you know, a treatment or, you know, or an exam like an X-ray, is molecular hydrogen. And we know we talk about 7.2's recovery product as the fastest acting molecular hydrogen product, both in a tablet and a powder. So we recommend people do that every day, because at the end of the day, there's so much that affects us you can't even see it. So you got to be feeding yourself on the inside so your body can better be protected against the damaging effects of of radiation on your cells. And nothing does it quicker, faster, more efficient than molecular hydrogen. So our recovery product, we recommend 100 to 10%. Most everybody is on that product, because it's not if, it's when this is affecting you.
Yeah, and the recovery has a powder form for kids, and then has just a tablet. So they're fantastic. It's basically flooding your body with oxygen. And so I guess the theme of the summit is to garner awareness. It's about awareness. It's not the fear. We don't worry about the fear. It's had me scratching my head, believe me, many times, and many sleepless nights over my daughter and her kids and their kids, and just understanding that the FCC regulates these emissions, and they don't care about our health, period. So that's a big challenge. But at the end of the day, our energy and our frequencies, and when you support it with recovery and all those, C60, carbon 60, just different supplements that can boost your immune system and help fend off these. And then we do the balancing act between, at home when we're sleeping, and then when we're out, we have products like EMF Rocks has, that will harmonize you no matter where you're going. We're going to start to be able to thrive, because this is God's gift. He gave us these gifts, just like Dr. Zach Bush will say, Restore is the gift for fending off from glyphosate to rebuild your gut. So is recovery, for our body. So are the solutions from these amazing minerals and crystals out there. So thank you so much, Dr. Cohn, for going beyond with us, sharing your wisdom on EMF, radiation and electricity pollution. You guys, stay tuned for more, and we have a lot more to share with you.
Awesome. See you soon.